And what I've noticed is there's a lot of very unhappy women. And I'm trying to date them. And I actually had this policy of not dating women that had kids because of the mom syndrome. Um, because generally they get involved for 15 or 20 years, and all they do is devote their lives, like literally devote their lives to raising their kids. They don't develop any social skills. They don't develop any true friendships. And when they start seeing, hey, I'm going to have an empty nest pretty soon, they start panicking. And 70% of divorces are created, I believe, by people in this situation. And I'm thinking, okay, this has to create a huge business opportunity. And to a point where I've been posting some videos trying to entice some of these women that either have an empty nest or will have an empty nest to to get a sense of fulfillment and a sense of happiness by contributing to society, either by starting a business or volunteering or doing something to contribute to society. And statistics show that people are happiest when they're helping other people. And this is why I continually like to help other people. So I think this creates a huge opportunity, not only to hopefully lower the divorce rate, so 70% of women are not asking for a divorce. And I posted a video. If you guys get a chance, watch the videos that I posted today and yesterday. And it was about a woman that was married for 30 years, and she admits it was a great relationship, but she left and she divorced him. And I'm hearing more and more stories of people who left a perfectly great relationship only to regret it, right? So, Brian, I think that gives us an opportunity to hire these women or to teach these women how to become bookkeepers and accountants or even start a painting business. If
Sure.
we help them start a business, they're going to need a bookkeeper and accountant, right?
Yes.
If we
Yes.
are the expert showing them, hey, here's the light, here's how you can become fulfilled, here's how you can really feel like you're contributing to society, here's how you're going to leave a legacy, right? And
Yes.
we're the ones to present not only the problem and the solution. They're going to be very grateful when we also present ideas and say, hey, you're going to need an accountant if you want to start a business, right?
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, and that's another example of what we call creating the need, right? Creating the need for a product or service. First, just any great business first finds a problem in the industry, makes people aware of the problem, then solves the problem with a business. And I think that's the best part of a business blueprint. Um, okay, I'm gonna go into some of my notes. I'll share my notes after. I'm gonna go through the business blueprint notes. Um, and again, the reason why the business blueprint is so important is because you're trying to figure out what future problems you're going to create in your business. And once you know what problems you're going to create, now because you're aware of them, you want to solve those problems before you create them. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the same reason the architect builds a blueprint for a house or the Empire State Building, whatever it is. The design phase is a very important phase because that's where you eliminate 99% of the problems. Okay. Not 100%, but 99% of the problems. And as you keep going over and over the business blueprint, you keep finding more and more problems that you're going to create. Okay, so now, sorry. I'm going to use a business blueprint for Wow Ledger Lion as an example, but these strategies are basically the same. I mean, slightly different for each business, but the but the idea of solving the problems are basically the same. So what are the current problems in the, and that's one of the first things you do. You find out what the current problems are in that particular industry, then try and figure out a way of turning a negative into a positive. So current problems in the accounting bookkeeping industry. Number one, accountants are notorious for running poorly designed businesses. As you guys know, I've been analyzing businesses now for 40 years, looking at financials, and I kind of have to smirk or giggle every time I go into an accounting type business. And it doesn't matter whether they're Bay Street or Wall Street accounting firms. They're not well designed. The last time I went into a Wall Street accounting firm that had been around for 40 years, all I did for 3 days was referee a match between the two owners. So accountants are notorious for running poorly designed businesses, and yet they are seen and hired for their business advice and tax strategies, which kind of makes me giggle because that's like the shoemaker's kids going barefoot. Accountants have poor quality of life and should be the last people advising business owners, because a lot of times business owners are trying to spend time with their family, and the last people that should be advising them should be bookkeepers and accountants. And again, most bookkeepers are self-taught. Most accountants are terrible at delegating. Most accountants are introverted, and they spend a lot of time with their noses in their computers. Most accountants are accountants mainly see things from their perspective and generally don't have a large trusted circle to advise them and their clients, such as tax strategy lawyers, management consultants, marketing experts, branding and differentiation experts, artificial intelligence, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bookkeepers are generally self-taught, lack the confidence and the skill to help their clients or employees or employers. Most bookkeepers, accountants, and CPAs do not communicate in their client's language. Brian, you and I were talking about that. It's important.
Yes.
And I think you agree that it's important to speak in your client's language so they understand, so the client feels at ease and they understand, hey, they really know what I'm dealing with.
Exactly.
This Grand Canyon divide in communication creates an anxiety and intimidation for both sides, leaving the client believing they are not getting advice, leadership, and direction from their financial people. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at companies who have internal bookkeepers and accountants, and even when they're internal, they don't communicate well with their owners, who are one office over generally. Bookkeepers and accountants are generally not very ambitious or aggressive, and generally don't inspire confidence to their clients that need 3x to 10x their business. So if a business owner looks at their bookkeepers and accountants as advisors, and most bookkeepers are introverted and risk averse, they're always going to talk him out of buying that extra truck, hiring those extra people, and any opportunity to expand their business. So really, they are a wet blanket that is stifling growth in a lot of cases. Are you sure you want to do this? You only have $50,000 in the bank account. Are you sure you want to do this? So when they're risk averse, and they're it's not out of malice, right? They're really concerned. And again, whether it's bookkeepers or family members, they're really trying to help you. But these people are not business owners. They're not ambitious. They're not entrepreneurs. So they don't want you to get out of your comfort zone. So when you start listening to them, I think that's where you start getting into trouble, because most entrepreneurs and business owners are ambitious. That's why they quit their jobs and started a business, right? So there's that conflict all the time. A good ambitious bookkeeper or accountant with collaborative strategies for tax strategy, lawyer, and management consultant should be able to take a company from 1 million to 10 million over a 3 or 4 year period, or double or triple the company profits. So this is where I would like Wow Ledger Lion to sound like. Wow Ledger Lion is really, it's not a bookkeeping service. It's really a trusted circle with all the experts that business is going to need to 3x to 10x their business, especially their profit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Branding and differentiation to create an unfair advantage. I think this is a crucial part. For the last 12 years, we've been working, we have been designing wowledgerlion.com to turn the disadvantage found in the industry today, as discussed above, and turn them into a positive ones, turn the disadvantage into an advantage. We will offer 3 to 5 pricing options, $300, $500 to $750 per month, $1,000 per month, and $1,500 per month. The $1,500 per month, we're probably going to call, the platinum package or VIP package. And that package will include a management consultant, a tax strategy lawyer, at least the overall design for reducing taxes and, tripling their net profit, and to allow them to really grow their business. The $1,500 package will what I just said, tax strategy lawyer, and as well as a management consultant to help the client get to the 10 million or even the $20 million mark. So it's really giving them confidence to, oops. It's really giving them confidence to grow their business. And this is what I see. This is part of the business blueprint. This is what I see Wow Ledger Lion, after a 15 or 20 year period, having dealerships all over North America and eventually Europe. With over 1,000 bookkeepers and accountants all creating content for the same website, we'll create a huge dominant site. Sorry. The index site, along with social media content, is the fastest way to dominate the market and take market share. Any questions about the business blueprint so far?
Nope.
Okay. Can you guys understand why the business blueprint is so crucial? I believe it's the difference between a 96% failure rate and a 1% failure rate. I think we lost Brian. That difference, the business blueprint, the branding and differentiation create an unfair advantage. That creates a huge difference. And the business owner, when the business owner has a well-designed business, he's no longer wondering, well, what is my next step? We lost you.
We lost you.
No, we lost you. What I was just saying is the business blueprint, which is also part of the branding and differentiation, create an unfair advantage, gives people, and I think it's one of the best tools because a lot of business owners deal with fear. And that fear comes from the unknown. When you're working on a 350-page document that sheds light on every part of your business, that fear is controlled by that document because you're seeing all the steps you're going to take over the next 20 years, and it eliminates or controls that fear. And you're no longer making decisions based on emotion. Sorry, I'm still not quite over my cold yet. You're no longer making decisions based on emotions. You're making statistical decisions based on the business blueprint. So eventually that business blueprint will have, the launch date. We'll have a countdown like 3 months before launch date. This is what we do. 2 weeks before launch date, this is what we do. On launch day, here's the list of things we're going to do. Day 1 after launch date, this is what happens. Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. When you sit down and you pre-plan everything, when that day comes and you have this adrenaline pumping, and you've got 3 crews or 10 crews about to start, and you're not sure how all this is going to work, by documenting and role playing and going through the document 10 or 20 times, it relieves that fear or controls that fear to a great extent and allows you to function because you practiced before the practice, right?
Mhm.
When it comes to launch day, yes, of course you're going to be nervous, but you've already practiced the launch. You've practiced the launch a couple of times already. Okay. And this is how we start controlling fear, because fear will never go away, but it can be controlled. Okay. And I think the next part I'm going to work on for the business blueprint, I feel really bad that I'm the one doing most of the work on the business blueprint because I'm the one getting the benefit, right?
Mhm.
When you're the one, contributing to the business blueprint, even if it's not 100%, when we work on it a second time, and I say, well, how about this? How about this? How about this? Now it goes deeper into your soul and it resonates and it's part of your DNA. When it's somebody else's document, you don't really appreciate it as much,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yep.
And I'll give you an example on that. We used to produce a lot of policy and procedure manuals for companies. Then we would superficially ask people to contribute to the document. What do you think your job description should be like? And they give some notes and stuff like that. But because the employees were not part of the document from day one, they don't embrace it. It's not part of their DNA. Then it becomes 30 binders or 50 binders or 1,500 binders that sit on the shelf and the employees never crack it. So that's a problem that we've identified more than 30 years ago. And I want to make sure it doesn't happen here.
Yes.
Sorry, were you saying to share the document? Can you share more of the blueprint to get more of it? I will share the document with you. I didn't want to share the document as I was reading from the document because I want us to be on the same page. Because a lot of times when I share a document, you can read a lot faster than I can, and we're not talking about the same thing anymore. Okay. So I will share that document with you and go deeper. I want you guys to embrace it or use it as a template and use it to design your own business. But I find one of the best ways to learn from a business blueprint is by designing somebody else's business. Then that way you're not emotionally involved in a business. And when you do that 2 or 3 times before you design your own, then it's a lot easier to do that when there is your own. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We don't have to talk about the business blueprint anymore. We'll talk about it again next week as I add some more notes to it. Any questions about anything else?
I had a question. Forgot to write it down, so I knew what I had to ask you. uh,
It
but I
happens.
did listen. I listened to that other video that you sent me earlier
Okay.
today of Brian, and yeah, wow, that's just another one that blew my mind.
Yeah. But those are not exceptions.
Yeah,
Those are
no,
the average. Those are the
yes,
average, right?
yeah,
You listen to another 100, they're almost going to sound identical, right?
yeah, okay,
So I think one of the things that you need to do, Brian, is create videos from your perspective, right?
okay,
I'm a contractor. I've been a contractor for 20 years now. I've been busting my body for 20 years now. Am I really going to break my body for another 20 years? Is that really what's ahead of me? Right?
sure. So
So
you're talking kind of like that one that I did before, where I was saying about, hey, I've been doing this before, and come to find out, my accounting that I was doing was horrible. Remember, I did that one video like that. So yeah,
yeah.
okay, gotcha. Yep.
So
No, I think
so
that was
so you guys need to post a lot of content.
and I
Gary's
also found that the ones that I duetted or stitched, either of you or anyone else, hardly get any views. I don't know if TikTok just doesn't push them out there or what, but I mean, literally, some of them are single digits
oh wow.
views. Yeah.
Okay. And hashtags, you're using hashtags?
Yep.
What kind of hashtags are you using? What
Well, probably not the right ones, obviously. So
okay.
uh, I'd have to
Well,
go
no,
back and
you
look.
could be using the right ones, but because you don't have the momentum, I'm
Yeah.
gonna share my screen again. Um, actually, this is a video that I just posted. I'm gonna repost. This is Michelle Obama talking about how she is unfulfilled, right? So I'm using content that others created about feeling unfulfilled, and I'm going to use that
Mm-hmm.
to try and engage women.
Gotcha.
Now, if you look at, I'm not saying this is right or it's wrong. I really don't know. And by the way, I posted it just before we started, and that already has 188 views. But I do write a description, right? And
Yeah.
this one I only use startup. But if you look at some of the other ones with the hashtags, I'm pretty generous in using hashtags,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And some of them have 30 or 40 hashtags, like this one here on the right-hand side, restaurant, accounting. And I think about, who would this resonate with, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Yep.
whether I'm watering things down or not, I mean, this one has 12,000 views. Whether I'm shooting myself in the head or not, I don't know, but I keep
Yes.
experimenting. And what I find is because the hashtag, a video that I created, let's say, 9 months ago, all of a sudden gets comments on it. I think because they were searching the hashtag or they found the hashtag. Um, so
Yes.
so when you click on this video and you go, um, so so when you click on Pickleball Attic here, and this is how you check it to see if your videos. Let me push you guys out of the way here. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking for that video,
Yeah.
right? To see if that hashtag is a good hashtag for me. And because I don't use that hashtag a lot, chances are I'm not going to find myself on this hashtag. But when people are passionate about something, they're going to look at hashtags and watch 10 or 20 videos under that hashtag.
Okay.
Because this video wasn't necessarily about pickleball, it's not resonating with anyone. So in this case, I should not be using a pickleball hashtag unless I'm talking about pickleball.
Yeah. Okay.
But I I mean experiment, try.
Okay. Think I'm gonna go back and do that to some of my already videos that I've had up and just start adding hashtags and redo it.
I would download them.
Yeah.
Um, did I share the links with you about downloading videos without the watermark?
Yes. I
Okay,
think you did.
okay. Um, Gary, if you don't have them, um,
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Facebook downloader. TikTok download. Yeah, I just posted both in the chat. So that's easy. Copy the link from a video that you want to copy and download it from there, and it will download it without a watermark.
Gotcha.
Okay. Because I actually received notification from Facebook that they will not accept my videos if they have a TikTok watermark. So, yeah, they're getting like that. Oh, and the other great news, I think great news, we all heard about Trump being shot, right?
Yep.
I think that's a fiasco. But I think we have a promise from Trump. I think the fact that someone is trying to off Trump is a guarantee that Trump is going to win the next election. And if he does, he promised to keep TikTok alive. I think that is great news. So for me, putting all this effort and not knowing if TikTok was going to survive or not was, causing me some stress. So, but I think Trump will be elected and he will save TikTok. And I think that is great news. If there's no other questions, I'm going to try and save my throat.
Okay.
Gary, any other questions, any concerns? What type of content are you posting? Are you posting yet?
No, I'm not posting anything. I don't know where to start. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
Okay. Um, what I would suggest you do is figure out something you're passionate about. I don't care if it's hockey, football, Friends on Netflix, whatever it is. Something that you're passionate about, something you would like to talk about. What do you talk to your friends about?
They mainly talk about restaurant businesses or gym workouts, or
Okay.
one of my friends got Canada Bread Bakery franchisee.
Okay. So talk about that. Talk about, food, even become a restaurant critic. If you wanted to. When I was struggling to find content, I started writing hotel reviews for YouTube. Right? Every time I stayed in the hotel, which was 5 nights a week, I would rate the hotel, I would take a video of the hotel, and some of the reviews are still up. So it doesn't matter what you talk about, because there's always going to be people who are passionate about the same thing you are, right?
Yep.
If I was to look for new things, I would talk about pickleball. I would talk about, dogs. I would talk about Netflix. I would talk about anything, right? As long as you're consistent, you're always going to find people who have the same passions. Or I would talk about the sheer frustrations of dating women in 2024. Okay. That blows my mind. It really does. And that's why I'm trying to figure out why women are not fulfilled. But you have my calendar link, use it. I can help you find content, but you need to create content. And you cannot be shy. You got to learn to use a camera. If you're going to be a business owner, you cannot be shy. Gary, it doesn't
Okay.
work. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay. So if there's nothing else, let's end it here. I'm going to send you the link for the business blueprint. Save it as your own document and add more thoughts to it. I don't care if it's gibberish, just add more stuff to it. It's your
Leo,
document.
can you send a copy of this video of this Zoom call to me?
Yep,
So that way I can have Bobby watch it.
sure,
well.
of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Thank you.
If Bobby can join our next Zoom conversation, that would be awesome as well.
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, a pleasure. We'll talk again next week.
Take care of your voice.
Have a good
Yep.
night.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.